You guys know I love my tactics games. I play a ton of them, but this one's different. This one is personal because I got to help make it. Hey everybody, if you're new here, I'm ChristopherOdd, and I'm an executive producer on Every Day We Fight. I've been working with the team for well over a year now, close to 2. Been having a fantastic time. The game has come a long way. It's finally releasing July 10th into early access. There'll be a demo you can play at June Next Fest. And I'm going to show you what I think makes our game unique and put it on your radar.
We're the last 3 left.
While our countries were at war, the Rifters came. They wanted Elixium, a substance we didn't even know we had.
They put a dome over the city. Suddenly, almost everyone was frozen. Right where they were. Just a few of us were left. We don't know why.
But we formed the Thorns to fight back. Not soldiers, just ordinary people.
The Rifters killed most of us, one by one.
But there's another survivor, Dr. Selena Faber. We think the Rifters are holding her prisoner at her lab, forcing her to enhance their technology.
If we can get to her, maybe we can find a way to defeat the Rifters, send them back where they came from.
It's humanity's last hope.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited to show this to you. I'm going to dive right in, treat this as a normal-ish playthrough. Obviously, I have some biases being involved here, and I'm not trying to just show you all the good stuff either. I'm going to talk about some of the development process. I'll talk about some of the things that I came up with and brought to the game. I'll talk about some things that we're still working on. And hopefully by the end of this video, you get a great idea of what this game is all about. So obviously this is a tactics game, but what makes it unique? We do have some time loop elements. We've got some roguelike elements in here. There's a few systems that are very different to traditional tactics games.
What the hell just happened?
Normally when it's that bright, I'm hungover.
Are we dead? Because heaven was supposed to be nicer.
We were trying to get to Dr. Faber's lab.
Yeah, we smacked into a bunch of rifters.
And everything went white.
Oh, what the hell? There's more?
Dylan, look out!
So right off the bat here, we've worked so hard on this tutorial and we've gone through so many iterations. But one of the neat things that we have in here is our reaction system, where when the enemy's turn is happening, there's some different things that we can do. We've got scrambles as one of them. That's one of the main ways that you're going to use reactions. But we also have individual skills on characters that use these reactions as well. And we'll talk about that when we get into some of the skill tree stuff. So the Grenadier is throwing a grenade at us, and we have an option here. We can either stay, and that red bubble's going to show the bubble of doom, but we're gonna trigger this scramble and jump into cover here. Now this opening section is going to be pretty guided so that players understand how these systems work.
Crap.
So cover is all based on line of sight. There's no percentages, no chance to hit. And when we start taking over, we're actually going to be shooting in third-person view and in full control here. So we're going to right-click to aim, and now we're shooting just as if you're playing a first-person or third-person shooter, right? So we're going to exit aim view here. And you can see there's a lot in the UI right now that I'll explain, but if you've played tactics games, you're going to be right at home. We've got an AP system in the bottom left to move around, use your skills, shoot your weapons. And then we've got some cover icons that indicate, hey, this is half cover versus full cover. But there's no damage reduction. There's no percentage to hit, like I mentioned earlier. So you just have to be concerned about line of sight. And if the enemy can see you, there's a chance that they can hit you. Depending on the enemy, some are more accurate than others. For now, we're gonna throw a grenade here, and you're gonna get a little example of how the enemy can react to this kind of stuff. So you throw a grenade. That guy scrambled. The other guy did not. Clear mistake on his part.
Still standing. Leave it to me.
So we're gonna move down here,
Better angle.
get into cover, and start aiming again. I can't really see anything from here, so we've got a shoulder swap in place.
Gotta reload.
I also need to reload. We're out of ammo bottom right here. So we're just teaching you like all the basics of how to control these weapons. Now you're noticing maybe on the right, if you got a keen eye, it says 99 AP to reload. That is not the case. But this is early. This is a demo right now. And there'll be a couple things, and I'll point them out as we go, things that we need to work on. So let's take this shot. See you later.
Nice work, Viv. Now let's make sure we're alone.
Okay.
Nope, we're not out of the woods yet. Crap.
Okay, so we're gonna run. Now, when this scramble pops up, this is something that we added recently that I thought we really needed to have, because sometimes you're gonna have multiple enemies on the map, and one of them is gonna be attacking you, and you're not sure which one it is. And we want to give players the opportunity to make informed decisions here. So when you're getting this scramble pop up, you're going to get this icon if it's a shot, you're going to get a grenade if it's a grenade. And you'll also get the little bubble now that we added very recently, but it just gives you a clearer indication of what you're scrambling from. So we're going to run over here into the full cover, and we might get hit. We did. We took a hit. That's fine. That's fine. We're alive, and it's cool. There's a couple status effects here that we'll talk about. Okay, so let's take a look here. Combat and action points. This should all be pretty straightforward for people that play tactics games, like I mentioned earlier. But one thing that you need to know is that you can carry up to 5 AP over to the next turn. So if you don't spend it, it's better to just save it instead of wasting it. Now, a couple statuses here on Dylan. He's injured, so when this happens, he's going to start with 4 AP less every turn until he's healed up. And this, if this starts to fill up every time you're getting shot at, you start building this little suppression meter. And when that happens, you become a lot less accurate in your shots. And you definitely want to avoid that as much as possible. Okay, so how do we want to tackle this? We've got 3 different weapons right now. Leo's got the assault rifle called the Hailstorm. Vivian has a sniper rifle called the Long Haul. And Dylan's got my favorite weapon. This is a shotgun. It's called the Rattler. And these are all randomized at the beginning of each run. And we'll maybe talk about that a little bit more later on. But the shotgun is my personal favorite. One of the things that we've done as well is when you're moving into a new position, it's going to dynamically update how many AP it costs to get there. Nothing riveting there. But it does also track how many shots you'd be able to take from that location with the little bullet icon. And that's just based on the AP cost of shooting the individual weapon. So let's get right in here and see what we can do against the engineer. These guys are your basic grunts that we can just destroy.
I still want to know what that light was.
Now,
Last I checked, Rift don't use flash tactics.
Figure it out later. Let's just get to the lab.
That rifter back there nailed your arm pretty good, huh?
Ah, it's a scratch.
So, we're still good to rescue Dr. Faber?
Do we even know she's alive?
The rifters have tech we were designing in the lab. She must be built.
Hey, we're not getting across this bridge.
Let's shoot the vent's gas tank, see what it does.
I'll try not to interrupt them when they're talking and stuff, but it might happen because I'm pretty stoked about this, so I want to share as much as I can. One of the things to know, and you may have already picked up on this, but ammo in our game is just, it's unlimited. You do have to manage reloads. We toyed with the idea of having ammo pickups, and I'm curious to actually hear your feedback on this because this is a hotly debated topic among the team. But we felt that it felt a little tedious after fights to have to go and like just collect all the ammo on the ground. It was just a bit of a, in my opinion, felt a little bit annoying. But we wanted to keep the reloads in here.
Let's go.
Because you have to manage something.
Bandages. It's my lucky day.
Let's see if we can't patch you up.
Okay, so we found some bandages here, and we're gonna heal up Dylan. There we go. No longer injured. He's not going to have that AP reduction. You can switch weapons with X.
You work for Dr. Faber.
Yeah?
Did you ever meet her?
My team gave a presentation. She asked the most terrifying, out of left field, why didn't we think of that questions? I managed to answer some, so she put me on her team. My lord, she's smart.
I guess we better save her then.
So we're learning a little bit about our three main characters here. We got Vivian, Leo, and Dylan. They all kind of have some interesting little character
This reminds
quirks.
me of my sister's bedroom.
We're gonna have to find a way around all this.
Or through it. Somehow.
So we do have this crack in the wall over here, and we're just teaching players, like,
Big enough explosion, this comes down.
if we had a grenade, yeah, I mean, that would be sweet, but we don't have that. So we're just teaching players how to kind of work through some of the problems that you might run into when you're exploring the areas. But Leo is sort of our leader
Think
of the
we can
group.
shoot that gas tank, and that makes a hole in the wall.
And he's a little bit of a tinfoil hat kind of conspiracy theorist guy, which is always fun to have as your leader.
That's a nice little hole in the wall, eh?
So one of the things there that I kind of just glanced over because I'm so used to playing this, but like we have this leaning system. So when you're in cover here
This was all
and
a
you're
dream.
aiming, you can lean down to shoot people right below you. You can get a better view of people over the
I was
ledges.
a rift once, and I knew what Elysium was. Wish I still remembered.
And it just allows for a lot more flexibility. A lot of times in traditional tactics games, it can get a little frustrating when you're trying to hit somebody that's just right below you and you just don't have line of sight or something. And so we're pretty proud of that system. It makes it very fluid, very kind of free aimy. And yeah, I think the team did a sweet job on that. It's really, really cool. Okay.
What do you think it was like when they got frozen? I hope they didn't know it was coming. I hope they're not still there, looking out their eyeballs, which they can't move.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Dylan. Of course they're not still there. That's horrible.
Or are they, Leo? Dylan is kind of the comedy relief.
Frozen people. The way the rifters can make holes in the air. Can't see a pattern.
Maybe there is no pattern, just a big, universal, colossal mess.
There's always a pattern. They just don't want you to see it.
You're one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy guys, aren't you?
Don't knock tinfoil hats. Dome didn't freeze me, did it?
Were you wearing one when the dome went up?
Well, no. I could have been.
And as you can probably tell, Vivian, more of the science-based. She worked with this Dr. Faber that we're trying to save because we feel like she's going to have all the answers to make this better. And Vivian's kind of like the voice of reason for the crew. So after this little section, I'm going to talk about some of the iterations that we went through with this tutorial.
Heads up. Rifter engineers in the parking lot. And Guardians. But inside? Who knows?
We better take these ones out so they don't follow us inside.
You know, gas canisters don't only work on walls. Just saying.
Gotta say, Leo, sometimes you're not a complete tool.
Hello, Rips!
Leave the left side to me.
So in our attempts to tutorialize stuff, you know, we're sometimes admittedly a little heavy-handed and like, we could actually use a gas canister to blow these guys up. And I know, but I just think for people that are brand new to the tactics genre, there might be some things that need to get overly explained, and I'm okay with that. And I think people are sort of used to that in tutorials, so. We've got an Overwatch system here. Now, one thing I'd like to point out, if you look in the bottom right or next to their names, right above their heads, you're gonna see these little hash marks, okay? That's an indicator that you have a reaction token, or a reflex action. We've called these things many, many names. And if you use the Overwatch, if you're reading the description, it says requires reflex action, and you have to have the required ammo to use, to be able to take a shot in the Overwatch. So you gotta be careful because in a lot of tactics games, you can just rely on overwatching all the time, but if you don't have that reaction token, or the reflex action, you will not be able to scramble, or use some of the unique abilities that each character has that also rely on that reflex action. So just something to keep in mind. We're not penalizing you for it. in this tutorial because we're setting it up. But something to know just as a tip when you're playing on your own. So the cost of Overwatch here, I guess I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but that's fine.
Now let's wait and see what they do.
So we're gonna end the turn here. Now the Overwatch is gonna trigger. We can decide, hey, this is not a priority target. I'm just gonna ignore that. My Overwatch would stay active. Or we can trigger it and take the shot, which we're gonna do here. Not bad shooting, actually. Not bad.
You see that?
So we're just teaching you about the last known position here. Anytime a rifter goes out of sight, they're gonna go into this kind of hologram form, or we're gonna say, oh, okay, that's where they were the last time we saw them, but that doesn't mean that's where they are now. Okay, should we scramble here? We can. I could go all the way across. I'm likely gonna get hit, but sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. I'll go here. Okay, so he is now suppressed, which is gonna increase the cost of shooting and make you slightly less accurate. Okay, so now we're just teaching you about a damage preview. So if I move my mouse cursor anywhere, it's gonna show you those orange lines that tell you who you can target. And it's also gonna give you a damage preview of what type of damage you could expect to do against this. Now there's a lot of variables here. The shotgun has like a spread shot, so I'll talk about the reticle and stuff in a second, but I don't wanna overload too much information here. Okay, let's see what we can do. So now this is costing us 9 AP to shoot because of the suppression. Leo, this is a tough one. This guy is totally behind that car. We can't see him at all from here, which is a little problematic. We could maybe look to shoot the engineer here. Let's see what we're dealing with. Now we can also aim, or zoom in, I should say. We will do that by holding shift. You hold your breath, you get a much more accurate shot, but it costs a little bit more AP. So if you keep your eye on the bottom left, we're at 21 AP right now. As you start to zoom in, it's gonna cost you more and more AP to a maximum of 3. If you let go, you get the AP refunded back. But what this means is that you can have various degrees of extra accuracy, and you're not just having to use that 3 AP all the time. You could shoot a little bit earlier into the breath and just use the AP associated, but for this, we're gonna get close. Whew, we got him. Okay, this might be a good time to just explain how the reticle is working. If you think about games like Phoenix Point, they talk about the middle has a certain weight associated with it, and then towards the outer parts of the reticle, it gets less and less accurate. But here, because you're shooting manually, you have to just keep in mind that the bullets will generally land within the larger circle, but we are weighting towards the center. So it's just something to understand. You might shoot the guy, and if there's a little bit of his head that's there's some space in that reticle around an enemy's head or something, the bullet could go there and it could miss. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay, let's move Leo up here. And this guy's pretty pinned back here. I could maybe consider going for a punch here. So this is okay. Yeah, let's go in here for a punch. Goes on to cooldown. It's pretty effective because you won't miss.
More Rifters gonna join the party.
And now we've got more action up top. Let's take a little peek here. Okay, he is still in that position actually, which is nice. Now we have different chances, or different AP costs, I should say, between a single shot and a full auto shot. So what this means when you're looking at this, a single shot obviously going to cost 4 AP. That's pretty easy to understand. Full auto shot is 4 AP, plus if you just keep holding it, every shot afterwards is only 2 AP. So it's actually a lot more efficient in terms of AP to be shooting full auto. Just something to keep in mind. I've got 8 AP left on her. I think I'll just carry it over. To reload this gun is going to cost, well, yeah, okay. Let's just do it. Let's reload it. And then for you, let's move up a bit and we'll end our turn.
What is that thing?
You think you'll kill me again? Ah!
What son of a...
Game over. Game over. We just met our first kind of main boss.
Clear? I think so.
Oh, alive? I swear I just got killed.
I mean, I guess I'm alive because everything hurts.
That weird rifter shows up and mocks us. Then boom!
Yeah. When the hell did they learn English? And why did it say again?
Also, we're not in the parking lot anymore. And it's a bright sunny day.
We'll figure it out. Right now we gotta get to the lab and rescue Dr. Faber, right?
And find us some more guns. We seem to have misplaced ours.
Are you wounded again, Dylan? How'd you get hurt?
We all got killed, remember? Why aren't you hurt?
Yeah, but the exact same wound?
That's a good question. I'm not going to spoil anything here because the characters are going to ruminate on this for a bit.
Didn't we already blow up that van? We could shoot it again, I guess.
Let's move.
Some more bandages. And a grenade.
Weren't we here before? And there was just one set of bandages?
And we grabbed it, right? Why is anything here? That's weird, right?
Not as weird as we died, but we're not dead anymore.
I'm right, though, right? Karg said again.
Karg.
That's what I'm calling him, because he said, Karg, you won't kill me again.
I thought he was calling us Karg.
Point is, he thought we killed him before. I don't remember killing him. Do you?
There was a white light. I don't know.
Strange. Who knows?
Look, there's those guns we lost.
And there? Guess we don't have to blow a hole in the wall again.
You disappointed? Grab what you can carry and let's go.
Okay, so we are sort of setting up how runs work. Your runs aren't going to start in this tutorial area. They'll start in a sewer, essentially, kind of Ninja Turtle style. And you'll be presented with an assortment of weapons that you've unlocked in the game. Right now, as I mentioned, we have the assault rifle, we have the shotgun and the sniper rifle. Those, you could, at the beginning of a run, not in the tutorial, but in the beginning of a run, you could get 3 of shotguns, which is, like, honestly my personal favorite. You could get 3 sniper rifles, you could get 3 assault, whatever. Just a variation of those 3. And you got to do your best to make it count. So let's pick up the Hailstorm again with him. Let's go Rattler with Dylan. And you're going to go through here as if like, oh yeah, we could just go through here. I would suggest you don't do that.
Where it was.
There's no way we're making that jump now.
What do you want to do?
Keen eyes would say, oh, well, there's something over there, which is true. Because from here, let's take a look. We can't get to this bus, but what we could do is shoot this and the bus will roll down. The problem is...
gas canister by the bus's back wheel. Maybe we can shoot it free.
You're gonna notice we're missing a weapon here, and when you check out in that area, you're gonna notice the long haul's up top there. But also, we just want you to know that you can blow things up, and when you're in the world exploring, you can pay attention to the different walls and
wonder if
might be able to get into some.
Chips in our brains. Now they're changing our memories.
No, Leo, that is not something I wonder.
The simplest explanation is always the best.
Okay. So in our game, when you find a new weapon out in the world, it becomes added to your potential drops. We may see it a little later on in the demo here too, but
Come on.
the Rifters will also drop weapons from time to time, and we're treating those sort of like consumables or stronger variants of traditional, like,
There's
I guess,
our
normal
frozen
weapons.
I guess some things don't change.
And
Poor
so
souls.
you'll be able to pick those up and
One
use
minute
them.
you're putting your food in the freezer, then
Then you're frozen. Funny. I get it. Clever. Could we talk about something else, please?
I hope we're right, and Dr. Faber isn't frozen too.
You said the Rifters have stuff she was designing in her lab. So they gotta be making her work for them, right?
Now, I said we would go over some of the iterations of this tutorial. The original tutorial that we had for this we went through this loop 5 times, and we were like, that's
guys.
way too long, dude.
We're almost at
that is way too long. So we've cut it down significantly, and you'll see here, we're almost out of the tutorial now.
Our Rifter friends are patrolling differently.
But I don't seem to remember what happened.
I don't see that rift that killed us. Karg, was it?
Yeah, Karg. Glad it's catching on.
Let's just kill the ones that we can see. And be ready for Karg.
I gotta say, I'm glad they don't have eyes.
Yeah, but they sense us. They'll lay into us before our pants hit our ankles.
Okay.
Okay, Dad.
Stay low and quiet.
And spread out. Get them in the crossfire.
And maybe save some gas canisters for Karg.
Now, we do have this sneak mechanic in here, and you can split your squad up, get into different positions, if you'd like. This is not a stealth game, but when you encounter a batch of rifters, you can take the time to set up as you'd like. And that's the important part here. There are certain fights that you could just skip entirely when you're out exploring kind of the main world. But generally, you're just using this to set up. We just want to give you the flexibility to start in whatever positions you feel like would benefit you the most. Okay, we're going to open this up. Just pay attention to the AP in the bottom left, because there is none. So your opening shot is essentially free for AP. The ammo, though, not free. So you still have to reload. Now, we do have, like, crits and stuff like that if you're shooting in the head or certain weak spots in different enemies. And you'll notice here, so I've got 11 AP. It's going to cost me 10 to shoot. As I zoom in, as I hold my breath, that AP is dropping in the bottom left. And so if you hold it all the way, and that X comes up, you can't shoot because you don't have enough AP, right? But as I mentioned earlier, I can hold it just a little bit and take the shot.
That one's down.
And be a little bit more accurate. And take advantage of that. You can even sometimes squeak it in without getting any extra AP cost if you shoot like really quickly, and that's fine too. Okay. And okay, I whiffed all of those. When they start scrambling, that's when it gets really tricky. And with the full auto stuff, you kind of got to lead like a little bit. You get a feel for it over time. Let's see if I can find the guy inside here. With Dylan. He's, okay. I think it's doable. I'm just leaning in here, as you can see, like with that W key. I'm probably over-explaining a few things, but I'll take it. Questionable Overwatch by the engineer. Now, the AI has come a long way, and this is something that I've learned is actually very difficult to get right. There's an example of an engineer doing something that we would obviously want to tweak, and we'll continue working on that. This one is less bad, because at least it's in a direction that we might be coming from. He's taking a shot at Leo here. We are going to scramble. We'll go to the full cover. In the early days, we had a lot of enemies that they just wouldn't take cover at all. They'd like run up to you and just stand there to basically sacrifice themselves. And we kind of debated internally, like, you know, these are grunts. These guys are... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I should be fired. These guys are grunts. They're not the smartest enemy in the world. But, that being said, we still think they shouldn't be doing quite that level of kamikaze approaches. Okay, nice. Now, those guys that have set the Overwatch, they will not have the ability to move. And these are great targets for grenades. This actually works out really nicely here because we can get both. Let's do that.
Grenade for ya!
And that's a trap that you have to be mindful of with your own people as well. If you're setting that Overwatch like I alluded to earlier, then you might run into some problems. One thing that we're currently discussing, and I'd love your opinions on. You'll notice that this guy is overwatched, so he's not scrambling. But when we shoot him, his Overwatch doesn't get canceled, and we're toying with the idea of canceling Overwatches via getting shot. I do feel like if I set an Overwatch and an enemy just pistol shots me and it gets canceled, it kind of feels bad. And so to do that to the enemy, I kind of feel like also feels bad, if that makes sense. And I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on that kind of stuff, because I'm open to anything in that regard. So get Leo into a slightly better position here, and we'll let them go. Okay, so he's shooting at Dylan. I'm in full cover. I'm just going to ignore this. And just because I'm in full doesn't mean I'm not going to be getting hit. Okay? You'll notice, too, that you can use your AP in any which way. The only things that are turn-ending are things like an Overwatch or some type of, like, kept-in-place ability. I'm going to stay here as well. Okay. Let's move in and finish this. And I think by now, in the tutorial, players should have a pretty good handle on what's happening here. Now, this is how we show our reinforcements. Certain missions are going to have reinforcements coming in. And typically in tactics games, reinforcements are coming in, and you're like, okay, we're going to set an Overwatch there. We're just going to slam them, whatever. I would recommend not doing that here. Because enemies, rifters, are going to come in, and they're going to act on that turn. So you need to be setting up very defensively to be able to handle it. Goodbye.
There it is.
Do I really have to kill you again? This time, stay dead.
Incoming!
You're outmatched. You can't win.
He really is shouting at us in English, right?
Really good English.
Let's shut it up then.
Okay. So this is our first little introduction to Karg, who actually went into an Overwatch, interestingly. And I'm okay with that. We will punish Karg.
Toss in a grenade!
Now, you're also going to see a couple of things here. Enemies will have armor. This yellow bar is armor. This is more susceptible to grenades. It's more susceptible to sniper rifle shots. And those are pretty much the main ways to get rid of armor. You can get rid of it with enough shots from other guns too. But we also have shields on certain enemies. And those are more susceptible to your burst fire, your pellets from the shotgun, stuff like that. But Karg did us a bit of a favor there, because we're going to be able to just unload. And when you break, like, the head armor, for example, the head is exposed. Easier to shoot.
Kill me again.
We killed it before? When?
What's happening?
Now, think back to what I told you before, like, we originally had you going through this whole thing 5 times. I think that was a little much.
And we're back on the bridge?
I think we jumped back in time.
We what?
Jumped back to the last time we were here.
But Vivian, it's a different time of day. And totally different weather.
I don't know, maybe it's a different timeline, but earlier?
Okay. How?
Could be something to do with the dome. Or the portals. I don't know. Dr. Faber could tell us, I bet.
Then let's go get her. While I quietly freak out.
I love Dylan's voice actor, and the reason I bring that up is, fun fact,
We get killed, go back to earlier. We kill Karg, and go back again.
We don't know if killing Karg was what made us go back. We've only killed him once.
What did you mean, we're jumping between different timelines?
If we were going back in time, everything would be exactly the same. But each time, something's different. Theory says there could be multiple timelines, all running parallel. The closest ones are like ours, mostly the same things happen. Farther out, things get weird.
So Dylan's voice actor, we actually just got a new voice actor about a month ago, re-recorded all the lines, and I think he did a killer job. He's got like a nice little flair in his voice. Interesting to know Dylan, as the character in this game, is not from this area, and we'll learn a little bit more about his backstory as we go. But that's why he sounds a little bit different than the others.
Where'd they all go?
Maybe Karg didn't like getting killed so much.
Hopefully they're not waiting for us inside that building. Hopefully Dr. Faber is.
Well, let's get inside before Karg changes his mind. He shows up.
So as I said, we originally had you going through here 5 times, fighting multiple times, learning tiny little tidbits, and we really shrunk it down to be like a concise little
Starting to think we'll never get
tutorial.
rid of these clumps of Elysium.
And obviously I'm talking a lot and explaining a lot of things, but you going through this tutorial probably in about 15 minutes.
As near as I can tell, those incrustations are made of crystallized Elysium.
Try blowing them up. Nothing works.
I think the Rifters have some kind of frequency resonator that breaks them apart.
Like when someone sings real high and everyone's wine glasses break?
I think the Rifters are using something like that to clear the incrustations off their harvesters.
You think if we make one, we could make these ugly things go away?
Let's get back home. I have an idea.
So we've come across our first obstacle. We're going to run into this Elysium all throughout the world here. And there's a couple of key upgrades that we're going to need to be able to get to all the different
I can
zones.
steal one from the rifts. I triangulated on some radio waves. They're coming from a frequency resonator like we need. I'm pretty sure it's at the Rugosa Hotel.
Well, we're not doing any good here in the sewers.
And if the timeline jumping stops, we die for real. So if we're gonna get killed, let's go now.
Love the attitude, Dilly. Love it. Okay, so this is our little hideout, Ninja Turtle style.
People. Take whatever you want to use in the rifts.
We do have a codex system in here, so you can go through and you can read about each of the characters. You can read about the thorns and what they're capable of. Some of them have some specific abilities. Weapons, you can see in here a brief description of them and what they might be good at. Here's all the different weapon mods that are going to be available. Nothing to see yet because we haven't found any, but we're going to have scopes, stocks, underbarrels, all that kind of stuff. And we have a plethora of different things that those provide. There's some different consumable gear in here, frags and bandages, different locations that we found with write-ups, some discoveries like the Elysium incrustations, and then any tutorials that you need to review are in here with a little video to kind of re-explain them. We'll get into the skills in a second because we're going to have enough to level people up.
We went back to the shoreline. After we killed Karg, we started waking up on the bridge, closer to Faber Labs. If we kill Karg again, maybe we'll start waking up even later in the day.
Sure, let's roll the dice. What's the worst that can happen?
So they're all theorizing on like what's going on here, understandably, and that's great. But what I want to show you is we got 3 weapons here, 1 sniper rifle, 2 shotguns. So I'm loving that. That's great for me. The shotguns are very fun in my opinion, but all the weapons serve their own purpose. Let's get out of the sewers. You notice we also got some bandages. Now, there could have been a grenade down there. We didn't get that. It's all randomized at the start of a run. We are going to head into the city now. And head to the hotel. We want to try to find that frequency resonator.
There's the hotel. I figure they'll start shooting at us pretty soon.
I guess it's time to case the joint.
What's that mean?
Leo's seen too many old movies, is what it means.
It means we need to get up close and personal with the hotel so we don't get any surprises when we go in.
The signal I'm reading is pretty strong. Resonator's gotta be in there.
Okay, so we can level up here. We're going to show you that. Here's the skills menu. I'm going to show you that. Let's go ahead and level. So, a couple of different areas to focus on here. So, Vivian, this kill assist, everybody's left-handed tree is all about their specific reaction ability. So this is an ability that uses that reflex action, and each of them operates a little bit differently. So Vivian's got a kill assist. So when somebody else shoots an enemy and they get to really low health, Vivian can take over and get a free shot if she has the reflex action available, and she can finish them off. It doesn't cost AP. It just... she just has to have ammo. okay? But it's very helpful to like finish off enemies. Dylan, he's got a proximity punch. This one's really cool because if an enemy gets too close, you can choose to go and proximity punch them and it actually knocks them out for a couple of turns. The danger, however, is that you might be exposed after doing that. So you might need to wait for enemies later in the round to use that, or it really depends on the situation. It's something to keep in mind. And Leo, he's got covering fire. So if somebody attacks either Dylan or Vivian and he's got line of sight on that enemy, he can then pop out a cover or whatever, and he can start shooting at the enemy. But he doesn't have to shoot at the enemy that's doing the shooting. It's free aim, so you can just shoot at whoever you want. So same thing with this, actually. If you get an enemy that's really low and this triggers, you can take that kill assist and aim at anybody. So it's pretty cool. Now, in the middle, there's some special abilities. So she's got a hologram that will act as a sort of draw for enemy fire. It's got its own health. It's not super strong. I was reminiscing about the days of XCOM 2 launching and having the mimic beacon and how just insanely overpowered it was because it wouldn't die for, I think, 2 turns. It would draw all enemy fire. I was like, okay, we got to learn from that. We can't do that. But a hologram is cool, and there's a whole bunch of abilities that split off of the hologram that make it very interesting. And it's a very helpful skill, but it's not invincible. Dylan has a taunt, so he can draw enemy fire, and there's some things within that taunt later on that make it extremely helpful. And then Leo's got to donate. This is a very helpful ability because he can donate to another person anywhere on the battlefield, and there's some splits in here that make this extremely powerful as well. And then everybody's got a utility tree for more health, shields, etc. Everyone's a little bit different. But for now, I think what I'm going to do, let's show you the hologram. Let's show you the proximity punch, and let's show you let's go donate here. And you can see what unlocks and how these all connect, right? So for example, enabling healer, every time he donates AP, 50% of the targeted thorn's health is restored. Got a cleansing effect, so any negative statuses on the targeted thorn will be removed. And he's got damage control, so when he donates AP, the targeted thorn's weapon damage is increased for 2 turns. All of these very useful depending on the situation that you're in. We've also allowed you to just refund any tier that you want. You can refund all skills and respec whenever you want. Just have fun and experiment and find these cool builds, because you may be noticing, like, I picked up the sniper rifle on Vivian all the time. I think it's good for her kill assist, but you might have a different build in mind. I typically run a shotgun on Dylan because he wants to be up close and personal with the proximity punch and the taunts and extra health. But you could run him as a sniper and build this out way differently. So you've got some flexibility in there. Proximity punch goes into the targeted rifter getting bleed. We've got dust in the wind. This is pretty cool. On a proximity punch, he will drop a smoke around him, and then it makes him hard to hit. And then you've got feels good, where he does a proximity punch. Every time he does that, his health is increased by 50 or healed by 50. And then the hologram. When the deployed hologram takes damage, the attacking enemy is afflicted with the electrified status effect. We've got when the hologram is deployed, it puts this oil surface around it. And then if that is set on fire, enemies will take damage in the fire. But when the hologram gets destroyed, the hologram sets it on fire, so that's pretty sweet. And then we have Delusional Fear. When a hologram's deployed, it inflicts rifters within a 4-meter radius with the suppressed status effect, making them far less accurate. So, okay. I would encourage you, when you get in here, go around and explore the city. Go check out that cannon over there. Just go and check things out, okay? We got a lot of little hidden things around. At the beginning of a run, you're gonna get random weapons, upgrades, mods, all that kind of stuff. Item discovery all over the map. We're marking things when you get near them. Okay, maybe I should go and check that out. And then here's some required tools, like we need this Elixium incrustation. There's some stuff back here that you cannot access until you find something else. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just saying, pay attention to that stuff. And all of the tools that we need to find.
Some high quality scrap metal. Think I could make something useful out of it. If, you know.
If we live through the day, yeah, cheery.
Let's back it up then.
All of the tools that we find are also applicable in combat as well. I won't spoil it, but just keep that in mind. So you notice we picked up some scrap. We've got a crafting system in here. Right now, the crafting system is pretty straightforward. It's just using scrap. In the future, we're looking to expand that by requiring different materials to do different things. But for now, as you're going through the city, you're going to find scrap and you can use that to build things. Heat levels. This is fun. This is an addition from probably 6 months ago or so. Every time you do a combat encounter, you're going to raise the Thorn's heat level. The heat level is going to create more enemies in fights or tougher enemies in fights. I could get into the minutia of how we determine which enemies you're fighting, but I'll save that for another day. The bonus of doing this is that your rewards are going to be higher, so you're going to get better drops as you're increasing your heat level up here. Okay?
Seems too quiet. I expected there to be a ton of rifters here.
Hear that? They're all inside.
Fair enough. You expect tourists in a hotel?
They're not gonna let us sneak in and steal the resonator, peaceable like.
No, we're gonna take them out first and then grab it.
We're not giving them a choice. Okay, so multi-floor visibility. You can scroll with the mouse. You can use T and G as well for the floor visibility. This is something that's actually extremely hard to do well. And we've worked a lot on like when you're rotating through here, the kind of camera cuts away some of the stuff. Like, you know, I take a lot of that stuff for granted in games. And this has opened my eyes being part of this development process just to how hard it is to do stuff.
We should make sure there's no rifts standing first.
Yes, we should. So let's take a little bit of time here. We're going to try and set up. Now, if the enemy detects us, they're just going to start shooting right away. And that's problematic. Once you put somebody into cover, then it will remove them from the group so you don't have to split up manually. I think since we've got a sniper rifle here, let's go up top. We'll see how this feels. Now, this is not great. Yes, you can take cover here, but like there's holes in it, so you could pretty easily get shot. But we'll start here for now. And when you have people in cover, they're not going to get detected, right? So you can take the time to set your guys up however you want, get them into cover, and you're generally going to be okay. Okay, I'll actually start out by taking a shot on the Guardian here.
All right, let's do this.
I really am glad I did not miss. Okay. Game on. Now, one of the things that we've implemented here is this slowdown when enemies are running away and stuff. Just to make your shots, like, it's way less frenetic. We used to have it running at full speed, but it was almost frustrating in the way that enemies would like, kind of dart around. And this is way more, in my opinion, like way more fun to be shooting, and you get that slowdown effect. You get some really cool, like, cinematic moments. And this guy, he's toast. We're in a pretty good spot there. What we could maybe do here, let me try to get Dylan, like, up here. I'm gonna run him over here with his remaining AP. I'm gonna donate to Dylan.
Do more, come on!
And then we're gonna go and sit right next to this guy. Vivian, if I need to reload, you can use the abilities down here to do it, but you can just hit R and whatever. So a lot of these things will have hotkeys eventually, but not all of them yet. If I move, I'm not really gonna have a lot I can do. I'll tell you what, let's throw an Overwatch down here. If this guy pops out, he's probably low enough where we could kill him.
Ready for them here.
And Leo still has 10 AP. So I'll start moving him in a little bit as well. Okay, let's end the turn here.
You're in my personal space.
Because he's so close and he's moving, we get the proximity punch, and we're gonna take this now. So we do some damage. We also knock him out for a turn. So this whole next round, he's just on the floor. Overwatch triggered. This is sick. Got him. Okay, now I'm in a bad spot here. Enemies are dropping directly on me, which is not cool. So I'm gonna beeline, let me see here. Where should we go? You've got the shotgun, so I do want you to be, you know, close-ish. Maybe we'll put you, see if they spawn up there, they're gonna have this line of sight. I could go in here, but then I'm also, like, pretty close. Maybe something like this would be okay. If they do shoot, we're gonna have the reflex action, right? Yeah. What do I want to do with you? Maybe get you up to this side. I'll put you here, and then if they shoot, we could scramble through the door. And then you also have the shotgun. Let's maybe run you in behind and see how they handle this. Now, this guy, you notice there's some bandages. Enemies will drop different things. And depending on the enemy archetype, you can kind of predict what they might drop. But right now, you just see our basic enemies. We're going to get a new one here.
Not Karg, Grenadiers! And they got bombs!
Yeah, they do. These guys are armored and they throw grenades. So this is where you got to be a lot more cautious with your reflex actions. So we're obviously going to be scrambling here. And you don't have to go to cover. That is not a thing you have to do. I'll go here, for example. Cover generally is better, but if you're not in the position to get to cover for whatever reason, that's fine. Okay, so he is taking a shot. Now, I could probably tank this. He probably used most of his AP to get here. So I'm taking one shot. I think that's fine. I want to see what the others do, especially, well, I guess, yeah, this Grenadier here. This is the guy we want to wait for. So he is shooting at us, but these guys can really hit hard. So let's go. Oh, that is rough. That is rough. This guy's going to have a shot at Leo if he chooses to. He's taking a long route here. He might not have a shot. Oh, he had one. Okay, well, I think we would have survived it anyways. I'll pick up the bandages and let's use them. We already had a set, but we'll definitely take it. Okay. This might be hologram time. This might be hologram time.
Heads up.
So, hologram is going to cost us 10. If I take this shot, well, I don't have ammo, so I think what we're going to do is lean out here, get this guy to scramble. Nice. I can take one more. I got all three. Beautiful. Okay. Let's maybe hold off on the scramble or on the hologram just yet. A grenade would just be sick right now. But I don't have one. We've got this Grenadier down there that's potentially a problem. A little concerned for Dylan, not gonna lie. Okay.
Suck it up, Buttercup!
2 AP left. Dylan, oof. 3-on-1 over here. 2 big Grenadiers. Proximity punch could potentially be very helpful. I don't want to run through there. Kind of got me in a bad spot here. Let's try to run around this cone. I'm going to see if I can sneak past it. Oh, I just triggered it. Go, go, go. Woohoo! Okay, Dilly. Okay, buddy. Yeah, we're playing with fire a little bit there, but that's fine. I just have them, like, very spread out here, and I feel like that's a little bit on the dangerous side. Okay. I actually think maybe I hold the hologram here for a turn. Because they're going to have to come running out here. Leo, maybe I'll try to scooch back as much as possible so that he can scramble into a door. And with the last 2, I'll take the full cover. And then we'll carry this one over on Dylan. Let's see how we do here. Okay, as expected. Now I'm gonna run into the middle here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he did not hit us once there. That's pretty surprising. I think he hit the floor a few times. Which we'll happily accept, because the times that he lands all of his shots, you're gonna be like, why is that guy not hitting the floor? I'm in full cover here. I'm gonna ignore this. I'm fine with that. These early enemies, not the most accurate. There's not. Oh no. Okay. So he went for an interesting little grenade there. That might be an AI thing that we need to investigate a little bit, but the idea was right in that Leo didn't have his reflex action. And now we have a little bit of a situation because we have more enemies coming in. Got the helmet destroyed, which is huge. What's the cooldown on donate? It's 1 turn. I would really like to get in close for this guy. Like, I'd really like to, but I can't. Because with a couple nice headshots, can make it happen. But I do need to clear some of the field here. If I come down here for 12... I might have to go hologram here. Might have to do it. I think we just need to try clearing the field a bit. Because we're about to get overrun. Now, difficulty-wise in this demo, we've got it tuned pretty aggressively.
That's for the ones we lost.
And difficulty is a thing that we're just constantly adjusting. But intentionally for the demo, it is presented as a challenge, and if it's your first time playing the game, it's going to be a challenge. It's a challenge for me. So, let's see. Dylan, come back here. I'm gonna hide a bit. Leo. Let's get this door opened. We could take... I don't really want to take a shotgun blast from here. It's not that great, obviously. So we may end up just, like, saving a bunch of AP. Okay. Do I throw the hologram here? I think I will. Now, one thing that I want to implement is when you're throwing the hologram, I'd like for it to take cover. So when you're doing this, you should see a little hologram that gets into cover like our characters would, like the Thorns would. We don't have that yet.
This'll keep them busy.
But cover still matters for the hologram. Like here, if an enemy's shooting at it from that side, like they're gonna hit the cover. But it's just something to keep in mind. I think we could implement a cooler way to use that hologram. Okay, so we got a bunch of little guys here. And one big grenadier. Went for the hologram from a distance into that cover. Whiffed it. And there you go. That guy nailed all of them. So now we got a bit of a problem. With that grenadier on the field, we got to really be cautious about when we're scrambling.
No!
I'm going to hold this.
No!
Oof, that was scary. Okay, he's actually shooting here. Which is good news for me, I think. This guy could come out and shoot me from there, so we got to be a little bit cautious. And then the engineer could do some damage as well. How do we want to do this scramble? I'm gonna go here. Unloaded. Okay. Might as well scramble here.
Move your ass, Leo.
Dylan still has a scramble. He's got his proximity punch if they decide to do something wild, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Now, something that's dangerous, when the enemies go out of line of sight, they might have an overwatch down. So over here on Dylan, like, it's possible that they're overwatching that area behind him. We're gonna focus on trying to come up top and deal with these guys. Let's come up here.
Looking out.
And you can see here, like, this shows the number of enemies that we have vision of and stuff. Sick.
Your fight is over.
Sick. Well, I'm 1 AP shy, but we have donate up. I'm gonna use it.
You're stronger than that, Dylan. You are stronger.
Let's pick up that scrap. Oh, are you serious? I'm gonna switch to the pistol. Come on. Oh, okay. So the pistol wasn't fully up when I was shooting, and that's why I was saying invalid. But that is something you can do, like, as the enemies are scrambling, slow motion. It's, you can switch your weapons and stuff. Pretty fun. Okay. Now, we just gotta, yeah, these grenadiers are the scary ones that we need to be very mindful of here. I could come out here, take the engineer, which I guess I'll do. I'd prefer taking the guardian. They're slightly stronger.
Scratch one rifter.
But we're hanging. We're hanging in here right now. Let's get a reload. We have the grenadier here. Now, I could take this shot, but then I'm just standing there. If I go for the punch, this ignores armor. Costs 5 AP.
I'll be gentle-ish.
It's on cooldown. But then we could maybe run. Another thing that we are tweaking is we've got it. AP costs to go up and down ladders and stuff right now are pretty high. And we got to tweak that so you have more flexibility using the multiple floors. 6 AP left on Dylan. I got 1 shot left in the Rattler. I'm gonna start bringing him back towards the group. And then if we get the 3 of us on this side, we focus on this Grenadier and this Guardian, and then we take out the other Grenadiers as they come towards us, hopefully. Okay, so Leo's in a bit of a spot here. If I scramble, it leaves me open to potential shots from all of the other Grenadiers that are around us. Oh, I'm just short on getting into that. Feels bad. I could come here, but again, depending on what this Grenadier does, I do have to believe he's probably going to go for Vivian. Oh, I still got bonked. Okay, he's reloading. That's going to cost him a chunk. He's throwing a grenade. Excellent. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. He might still have shots in there. I don't necessarily want to go to the door because then it will open. Oh, it opened anyways. Oh, okay. He unloaded into the wall, so he probably saw, like, our left arm and just missed.
Shit.
Okay, he's shooting. I mean, we're far enough away from that guy where I'm pretty comfortable that he's not going to follow up with a grenade. Now, one thing I haven't talked about, in the top left, we've got these optional challenges here. And what these do is, if you complete these, you get higher rewards from the mission, and those higher rewards turn into opening a better chest in the hideout that you're going to access after the mission. Okay, this guy needs to die. Now, we're lower AP, unfortunately. Oh, that was a very rough shot. That was very unfortunate. That happens. That happens. A lot of this game is... I don't want to say a lot of it, but like some of it is by feel. Like the more you play it, the more you get used to how weapons are going to operate. I probably should have zoomed in there to make sure like all the shots were going to land. Because we got a little bit unlucky on that spread. Let's get you here. Hologram cooldown is very long. So we got to be cautious of that. But Dylan now, in this situation, I'm going to bring him in. He still has all his armor. You know what? Let's actually just punch.
This'll hurt you.
I'm just going to punch him.
Dropped another rifter.
And if you notice here, now we've got a Spitfire. So the Rifter weapon, it's like a kind of like an assault rifle variant. Depending on how far away we are, we may use that. We may not. Can I get a shot? Like, this guy's in perfect cover down here. He's in a really good spot. We've got 2 Grenadiers on this side, slowly moving their way in. We've got the guy down below. I could potentially set an Overwatch, but I would hate to just get pummeled here by the oncoming Grenadiers. I'm gonna drop down to this side because we've got this whole wall protecting us. And maybe from here, oh, he's actually on this side. Oh, I thought he was on the other side. That's huge. Come on. So, see how there's like a little bit of space beside his head in the reticle? Like, the bullet could go there. It's unlikely, but it could go there. I'm trying to... Oh, Vivian with the clutch save right there.
They're afraid of you now.
Am I... Did I whiff? Did I whiff every single one of those? Oh my god. Okay. Let's go. I don't know. I might have hit some armor there, I guess. Now you might be noticing this weird little like red model inside this bigger Grenadier. Yeah, that's just a bug. Okay. So now Dylan's got a ranged weapon, which may help. I'm gonna heal here. Because Leo is still alive, believe it or not. And this is where you'd be tempted to just set up and use Overwatches in traditional tactics games. But I would encourage you to not do that all the time. It's very situational. Okay. I'm a little concerned because we don't know where these guys are exactly. This was his last known location. He's probably gone from there by now. And so... I think we're just going to play it cool. I want to have her by the door so that I can regain vision here. Even like leaning out is not helping me get anything. You know what? Let's pop her here. Oh yeah, we don't have a clue where they're at now. Okay, come back. Dylan, we could potentially set up for like a proximity punch situation. But we just have no clue where they're at. We'll carry over the AP. Actually, I lied. Let's not. We're gonna reload the shotgun here. And we'll reload the shotgun here. We'll carry over 2 AP. And you can fast forward as well. You can fast forward the enemy turns if you'd like to speed that up. You just hold the space bar. Oh, God. I wish I had a grenade. I mean, the problem is... well, the problem is obvious. They're actually overwatching here. So if I lean out, they're going to get a shot at Vivian. Which we don't want. But, oh man, a grenade would have been so perfect. And it looked like we saw a cone coming up top as well. I'm going to drop Dylan down here. Oh! Oh my god. What a clutch find. I have all this stuff blocking me. So frag costs 6. Do I just go aggressive here? I think I gotta, right? Oh boy. Now, this is not going to kill them because I have so much armor, but this is going to help significantly. Okay. Well, we got rid of a ton of armor there, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I think we move Leo up here. Oh, I didn't not consider my pathing very well there, because I could have run straight through that, but he stuck to this wall, so it was all good. If I could get, like, back here, that would be awesome. But I need to do it with 10 AP, so I have a shot. I'm just not going to get that angle yet. I will say in our game, high ground is very, very helpful. Not for the reasons that you might think. The reason that high ground is helpful is because enemies aiming up at you, it's just naturally a lot of things are blocked. So if you can be high ground, you might have better luck. Now there's another Rifter weapon that dropped as well. Dylan, I'm gonna start, well, like I could go for a proximity punch on one of these guys, knock him out, but then Dylan's most likely gonna drop and we would have to do the rest with 2 people. Or we could resurrect Dylan with a bandage. Or revive, I should say, instead of resurrect. But, yeah. Let's go here so that if somebody does come towards him, he still has a potential proximity punch. And we'll carry over a bit with Leo. Okay, of course, right off the bat, grenade. Makes a lot of sense. Go.
That is not gonna happen.
I don't think so, Tim. So now because he scrambled, his proximity punch will not be available. But I think these guys are going to be far enough away where this is going to be all right. It seems like it is. But are they overwatched? Great question. Don't know. I'm going to try to get some recon here with Leo to see some information, potentially. Donate is... Oh! Oh, wow. Okay, so he's aiming up top with the Overwatch. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Dilly. Oh, no! Oh, hang on, no! Oh, that's a problem. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, boy. Oh, no. He did have enough for the Overwatch. That sucks. Okay. Well. We gotta make something happen here, guys. So we have the ammo. The problem is that head armor, like, we didn't blow off the pieces. Okay, the helmet's destroyed now, which is good. But she, well, we might be able to thread the needle here. We do have line of sight indicator, but there's a lot of obstacles here. Yeah, it's like, okay, yes, we technically can see him. Oh, that's unfortunate. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull back. We're going to throw down the hologram in this area.
Distraction coming up!
And then we'll grab this. I think he got him on the last possible bullet that he had in the gun. Okay, well, he did hit the hologram a tad there. Oh, is he suiciding? This happens. The Grenadiers do this right now. Something we're working on. But we find, especially with the holograms, it kind of like draws them in and they drop a grenade on it, which I think is pretty funny. But definitely something we want to tweak. That is hilarious. Okay. I think we're gonna be okay now. Right? guys, what could go wrong? I'm gonna come here so I have 2 shots available.
Ease up, Thorns. You can relax.
Get back up, Dilly. We did it. Guys, I'm very happy to beat it, because it's hard. It's hard. And as you can see, we still need some logos for the Spitfire and stuff. That's the alien weapon that we picked up, the Rifter weapon there. But you can review your individual character stats through this as well. We've got some squad stats up here. And then you've got the Thorn Stash keys that you've earned. I didn't focus on the optional challenges there, so...
Now that it's quiet,
you can try that for yourself.
And get the hell out of here before we draw a crowd.
So also got this Mangler now. This is, I guess this is more assault rifle. The other one's a little bit more SMG vibes. We also have some additional skills here, so I can give you a little bit of a look into what these offer. So kill assist, and then if she kills a Rifter with kill assist, she could get 5 AP on the next turn. When Vivian kills a Rifter with with kill assist, her health is restored by 50. And Refiller Killer is nice because when she gets the kill with the kill assist, she immediately reloads her equipped weapon at no AP cost, which for a sniper rifle, pretty expensive, right? Let's see here. Dylan has 2. I'll throw you his taunt just to give you an idea here. So when you taunt an enemy, they can get the bleeding status effect. Here, they've got that smoke very similar to the proximity. So when you taunt, he'll deploy a smoke on himself. That's kind of like one of his things. And then Fearmonger, when you taunt, you'll apply suppression to that enemy. And then here in Covering Fire, he's got Stay Put. The targeted Rifter is inflicted with the Paralyzed Legs status effect, which means they cannot move. They can still shoot. Here, the targeted Rifter is inflicted with the Ignited status effect. And if you're spraying this and you're hitting multiple, guess what happens? And then here, when you shoot, you're going to do Paralyzed Arms. So they won't be able to shoot their weapon. So a couple different ways. They can still move at you, do other abilities, but they won't be able to shoot. Let's show you his utility tree. So he gets a little bit of extra health, which if you're struggling, that 50 extra health, it does matter. You saw there, that one bullet that killed Dylan at the end. If we had the extra health, he would have survived. He's also got a punch here. So when he performs a punch, we can apply bleed. Encruster, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but when you get the Resonator Dart, using that is reduced by 4 AP. And then here, when he does an Overwatch, it's reduced by 3 AP, making him a little bit more efficient, okay? She didn't get an extra one, so I can't show you her tree. But if you hover over these, you can just see what they all do. I'll let you read some of these if you want to pause. And then Dylan, let's go into here. Smoke screen. So again, when he does a normal punch, he drops a smoke. Here, Dylan can cause when he does an explosion, he does more damage. And here, he can scramble further. I really like this option. Scrambling is really clutch to get out of situations. And as you saw in that fight, there were a lot of times where I was like, okay, we're going to do this thing expecting an enemy to shoot me, and then I will scramble to get into an even better position. So it's something you can use as a tool. Here's the frequency resonator.
Okay, is this thing intact? Yep, now let's get the hell out of here.
Wait a second. This key, it has our emblem on it. The thorn. It's a thorn key.
Great, give it here.
Why am I giving it to you? It's a key to what?
Could be for a safe house. We set them up all over.
You mean a stash? With weapons and supplies? Why didn't you tell me?
We just did.
We didn't know we could trust you.
Still don't, if I'm being honest.
And is there one nearby?
Let's get over to it and restock while we can. We won't last long with what we got on us.
So as you're learning, Dylan's a little bit newer to the
You
group.
think the Rifters are some kind of hive organism?
Like bees? With queens and drones and workers and stuff?
How'd you figure that?
They seem to have different roles, especially Karg.
Yeah, he speaks our language. Maybe he's some kind of brain.
I'll give him an algebra test. Let you know how he does.
Maybe you'll get your chance soon.
And they're right to have some distrust here. Oh, hey guys, you want to
Split up here. Let's not separate.
you want to join the team or what? Obviously, they should have been following us there. but that's fine. We got some bugs. I mean, that's obvious. There's a couple things where we got to work on and polish up before the release in July. This is, again, just a very small chunk that we've cut out for you to try the systems and get used to how things operate. But I think it does a pretty good job of showing you most of the stuff. Attachments-wise, like, some of that is going to be a little bit random. If you explore, you'll be able to find enough scrap to craft stuff, and there's some lore that you can read and things like that. I won't spoil that for you. You can do that on your own. There is a couple of things I want to show you, though. So on the way here to access our thorn stash, this little section could be a fight. Could not be a fight, right? And you could take this fight, your heat level goes up, you get better rewards, you get more XP, all the good stuff, right? But just for now, I'm gonna leave that for you guys, and I want to just access the thorn stash, and I'll show you that you can actually just sneak through these fights if, for whatever reason, you don't want to take them. Okay. So, scrap, we're at 228. Another thing we're gonna do, probably right away, is we are going to make the scrap in increments of 5s, because all of our crafting recipes are in increments of 5, so it just kind of keeps things a little bit cleaner. There's some stuff down here you can explore.
But it seems so strange now.
What does?
The idea that you could just buy what you wanted.
I barely remember life before the conflict, let alone the Rift invasion.
If I close my eyes here for a second, I almost feel normal.
And I would encourage you to check out all these little things.
No, it's not them.
Who'd you think it was?
My wife. At one angle, I thought I saw...
Your wife.
What's so fucking funny?
Just trying to imagine who'd tell you.
I do.
My ex-wife and kids.
Well, you never talk about them.
When did you see them last?
Last fall. I took them to the circus. Next week, front door was unlocked. Place was empty. No forwarding address.
You must have been an inspirational husband and father.
Yeah, so a little bit of a rough life that Leo's had that you'll learn about throughout your time with him. Vivian, not a lot of sympathy for him, because Leo does lean a little bit towards the ass side of things. So, fun times. And we do have, funny enough, exactly 300
useful manhole
supplies right now. Now, these manholes, every time you find these unlock fast travel points. So on your map, you can go to a manhole and you can essentially teleport to any of the other spots. But we're gonna access our first thorn stash here. I do want to show you this one. This is a nice little shout out to my friend Splattercat. It's a cat collar here. A collar from a frozen cat. Someone named their cat Splatter. That's odd. Okay, you get it.
This cat if I could.
The reason that we're shouting him out,
But I can't. So it won't.
is he checked out our game extremely early on, like last year.
Wonder?
You are not seriously asking me that.
Is it to protect them?
I think it's got something to do with the smudge. So if the dome goes away...
You don't have to finish that thought, okay?
He checked out our game super early, and did so out of the kindness of his heart. He's a great guy, and it got a lot of attention for the game. A lot of people wishlisted the game.
This is our thorn symbol. Why is it here?
It's one of our stashes. Good thing we have a key.
Not so good for our dead buddy we got the key off of.
Rest in peace, mate.
Let's restock. We don't know what's waiting for us in Faber Labs.
And it's just our like the smallest thing that we could do to thank him. So shout out to Splatter. And by the way, there's going to be other creators showing videos of this as of today. So please go and check them out. I will be tweeting them out on X and on Blue Sky and stuff. So if you want to see other people play it, yeah, please do. So this is our thorn stash. You also got introduced to a little bit of some of the puzzle elements that you'll have when you find some unique puzzle buildings. And we just leveled up Vivian. How'd that happen? Well, when we discover new locations and lore and things like that, they're also gaining XP in the background. So the more that you explore, the more lore that you interact with and that kind of stuff, yes, you're gonna flesh out the story, but we also wanted to just reward you for putting in that extra time. You don't have to, but it will boost your characters a little bit. So here's the thorn stashes. You're gonna have these different tiered loot chests available, bronze, silver, and gold. And depending on which keys you have, you'll be able to access the higher tiers. As your heat level goes up, you get better rewards, which I already explained. And then we have this little crafting bench as well. So I only have a bronze key, so I'm only going to be able to get this.
Maybe we can make some stuff.
We did get a new weapon mod, so we'll take that. Let's see here. Oh, my bad. They're trying to like rejoin Leo. Sometimes right now, as you've noticed, the followers get a little bit stuck. Okay. So, we just popped out a Stingray mag. We've got an extra long haul if we chose to do that. You can only carry one primary weapon, one secondary weapon at a time, and then you can carry a third weapon if it's a Rifter weapon that drops. So that's cool. Let's pick up these bandages. Let's take the long haul mag. And if you are equipping the weapon that it's used for, it will actually show you what it does. Oh, that's wrong. I was showing you the comparison to the actual weapon. So if you're comparing to a weapon pickup, my bad, it will compare the weapons for you. These are obviously the same. And we're going to have different variants of these weapons as well. The Stingray is our little pistol. So if we pick up this mag here, you're going to see it goes into your attachment slots, and you can see what it does. So this will offer you 2 extra shots before you need to reload. And then we also have a long haul mag here. Let's switch to her, and we'll pick that up. And then this is really nice, actually. On the long haul, it gives you an extra shot in your ammo capacity. So you saw it's pretty expensive to reload because it's a powerful gun, but this makes it a lot more manageable in my opinion. So we could switch out to an extra shotgun, and that's cool. This is the gold key, which we're not gonna have. So we're just gonna leave that long haul there for now. Here is the crafting bench, couple of different things that you have access to. You can make some frag grenades, some bandages, or you can make some attachments. I'll go ahead and grab, let's say, what would you guys like to see here? Let's maybe grab the scope. You can click on it to see what they do. This means your hold breath zoom is an extra 100%, so it's like doubled, and it increases your overwatch angle as well. And if you go through these, like right now, like there's some different designs, and this is based on where the weapon mod is from. There's like some backstories for the characters to some other cities in the area, and if they come from certain cities, they have certain attributes. We need to do a better job here of like describing that and saying, okay, well, yes, this is a scope comment, but we need to say like where it's from. Same thing here, and have this little icon match the icon of how it actually looks, right? So that you can see at a glance the difference between the two. But yeah, so if you want more Overwatch angle, you could take that. If you want more hold breath zoom, you could take that. We've got the Hailstorm mag. We don't have a Hailstorm right now, so this would give you plus 10 shots, which is pretty huge. That's the assault rifle that we did the tutorial with. The Rattler mag gives you an extra couple shots there. The long haul giving you that extra shot. Here's the muzzle. So this improves your damage range. And some of these are weapon specific. Some of them can be used on any weapon. Your damage drop off range and your recoil. So this means you could shoot, if you put this on your shotgun, you could hit a little bit further away with better damage. And then the stock down here reduces your AP cost. This accuracy and reticle bloom, this is a bug. These are actually positives. The accuracy is just a slight increase there, and your reticle blooms when you're firing full auto and the reticle starts to get bigger and bigger. This will keep that a little bit more in check, but this is actually a buff to your accuracy, just a very, very small amount. And what that does is essentially shrink the reticle so that you become a little bit more accurate. So you can buy any of these. I'll go ahead and buy the muzzle here. And when you do that, you can craft 3 things at a time. It's going to go onto this little bench, and then you can go ahead and grab that muzzle and put it on there. You can also manage all of your weapons and your attachments in here. You can sort by which type. You can equip them, change them around, all that kind of stuff in that screen. And now, what we need to do is we need to get out of here. We need to go back to the sewers. So let's do that.
Now, if we can get back to our hideout, I can figure out how to use this resonator.
Then we can get into Faber Labs.
And you notice all of these different things that are blocked.
Faber anyway.
I liked science in high school. It's logical. There's a right answer.
I was garbage in science. You must be smart. No offense intended.
Well, we should all been smart enough to see the rifters coming.
They didn't teach interdimensional physics at my high school.
That's 'cause they want to keep us dumb.
Yes, Leo, I agree. She did get that skill point, so I can show you really quick in here. This will get access to early departure, reduce her teleporter's cooldown period. What's a teleporter? You'll find out. Sparked impact. When Vivian performs a punch, the targeted rifter is inflicted with the electrified status effect. And down here, very strong for her, and a great skill to pick up if you do more of a close range build with her. She gets a shield generator that has a strength of 100 HP, and it refills unless it's fully destroyed. So if it only takes like 50% damage, it'll refill on the following turn. So it's very, very, very cool. But let's go back to the sewers here.
I was able to duplicate the design. Each of us can have a resonator dart gun.
You know, I never used to like guns.
Well, I appreciate you putting aside your harsh feelings about them.
Yeah, nah. All for guns and guns for all.
Let's get back to the island and try these babies out.
And that is the end of the demo. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I'm very excited to show it to you, obviously. And I've been working on this for a long time, and the team has been working their butts off for a long time. We have a lot that we want to do over the course of early access, as you can see here, but this is not the extent of it. We want your feedback. We really, really do. I asked you a few questions in this video. I'd love to hear your feedback on those, but just any thoughts in general would really, really help. If you've enjoyed my content before and you think Every Day We Fight looks like your kind of game, do me a solid and wishlist it on Steam. I'll have links down below. We're going to be dropping a demo for June Next Fest that you'll be able to play. And we're going into early access July 10th. So please check it out for yourself. We have a Discord as well if that's a thing that you want to do. I'll have links down below for that. But leave me a comment, help boost the algorithm. If you wish this the game, it's going to help the algorithm on Steam. That'd be the best thing you could do to support us if you're interested. And thank you so much for being here for the long term if you have been. And if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had a good time with the video. And we'll see you guys next time. That was Every Day We Fight.